Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. How are you all? I'm still a bit under the weather, but I still wanted to do a video for you. I'm going to show you, I just learned this technique, how to make a card like this and using your watercolors. This is one of my cheaper sets, just the Prang. I also have a Winsor and Newton one that's a little bit more expensive, but I'm just going to go with the cheaper one today. And I can use a regular brush, but since I don't have water right here, I'm using one of these brushes that has a reservoir that has water in it. So this one was my first one, and it didn't turn out very well because I messed up the middle dog. So I'm going to try to make this one better. So I'm going to start with, maybe I'll start with this yellow color. So all I do is squeeze this thing, and it puts water in there, in the well. I can bring some out here if I want to. Hopefully you can see all this. And I could add more water to it to juice it up, make it nice and juicy. All right, now I'm going to start with, maybe I shouldn't start with the middle guy. I'll start with this guy here. Just start coloring in his face a little bit. Not being careful because this is watercolors and it's kind of sweet when it goes out over the edges. It makes it look a little bit, more, I don't know, more artsy. Let's see, do a little bit of his ear. There we go. And it looks like I did some of him down here like this. So this is a quick process. I'm going to get some of his ear, maybe a little bit of his body. So this is going to be cut off, and I'll explain more about that in a little bit. So let's see, do I have enough bright yellow? I like the yellow. Since I'm going over a lot of this, I might decide I want to use an ink pen at the end to brighten up my black ink a little bit more. All right, that looks pretty good. So all I have to do now with this is kind of squeeze it out until it runs clear, and I should have a paper towel right here. Let me grab one. Yikes. Till this kind of runs clear. And then I think I'll go to orange. I'll go to this lighter orange next. So again, I'm squeezing some water into this little trough, getting it going. Going to bring some up here so I can squeeze some more water because I don't want it to be too thick. I'm no watercolor expert. I'm just playing. So I'm going to start with his little face a little bit, mix these a little bit together, and come get some more. Maybe come into his ear and his body a little bit like that. Again. Uh-oh, maybe too much there. It's okay. So I'm just going around and painting him in a bit until I'm happy. Let's see if I can change this guy a little bit. And put a little bit more orange in this guy. Okay, like that. Maybe his face a little bit like that. Alright, that looks pretty good. Maybe a little over here. Alright, now the next color I'm going to do is maybe the darker red. So again, I'm going to squeeze this out and then try to get it kind of clean. And I guess I'll go with, don't know, I guess this red here. So again, I'm squeezing the water out of the tube here into the water well, or into the well. That looks a little bit too red, maybe. I don't know, I could add a little orange to it. There we go, maybe I like that. So I could take some of this now and bring this over here and see how I like it. It's looking good. It's not a very good color. It's kind of muted. I think I'll change it a little bit. So again, let's come in here, get it a little wet. And I don't like what I just did to his face at all. So I'm going to have to get some of this out of here and see if I can dot that up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Yay. Okay, let's see. And some of you that are artists, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, why did she just do that? Well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm no artist. So I'm just playing. Just having a good old time playing around. And again, I may have just messed that up a little bit. It's okay though. Again, I could dab it if I'd like to because I don't like what I did. All right, there we go. So I can bring all this in here. And let's see, do I want any brighter red anywhere? That looks pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with the way that looks now. I'm going to leave it like that. I think, other than, hopefully I'm not just going to go ahead and mess this guy up right now. Put a little red. Just put a little darker red. Tail. And let's see, that looks pretty good. All right, I'm liking that. All right, so I should quit and leave it alone. So I think I will quit right there. So I'll go ahead and let this out. All right, now what I need to do is I'm going to take this tool right here, my embossing heat gun, and dry this. And after this is dry, I'm going to make like a little brown background so I can go in between all the dogs. And the last thing I'll do is I'll cut it down so it'll fit on a nice black frame, and then put it also onto a white. Okay, that's pretty dry. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some browns. I'm going to put some water in here again, or this first time actually. Come up here and make some, put some drips in there. Don't want it to be too dark. It looks like I'm making it too dark, so I'll add some more water to it. I just want it to be a light color. Let's see. Yep, that'll be good. So I'm just going to start up here at the top and kind of go in between, leaving some white space around the dogs, because I don't want to go all the way straight up to them, but close. Okay, and then I can squeeze out some of this water in my tube here. So these colors should not be mixing since I dried in between. Okay, it looks pretty good. I'd say this is about done. The only thing, like I said, that I might do is I might go back with a fine point Sharpie and go over a few of these little things like their eyeballs, just in case they've been covered with too much ink, or I mean paint. And in case you're wondering how I did this part of the card, stay tuned. As soon as I put this together, I'll show you how I did the beginning part. Close that up. Now see, this one turned out a lot better than my very first one. So practice makes better. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my cutter so I can cut this down. Okay, hopefully this will fit right here on my table. Don't have too much room to work. Let's see. So I'm going to cut this down to about 3 7/8 3 3/4, I should say. So first I'm just going to cut it at the 4-inch mark over here-ish. It's a little bigger than that. And let's see what I can cut off over here. Okay, it's going to be about right like that. Okay. And so now I got to cut off at the top. Down here at the bottom. Now, see, that's going to fit on a card like this. But I also want to have enough black frame around it, so I need to make it a little bit shorter. There we go. All right, and so now, if this is going to fit on a reg standard card like this, which I've messed up, but this was just a sample, this piece will be 4 inches by 5.25, or 5 1/4. Okay, let's see. So that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. Let's pretend like I was going to put this on the back here. And then this would go in there, and that is cute as can be. I like it. So here's my extra piece. Now I have so much I've been working on my desk right here. I have these. I've got all of the dwarfs and Sleeping Beauty and the Prince, all of the dwarfs all ready to go to my daughter. I also have a mini that's 15, or no, taller than that. Really, really tall. I've just been working away like crazy. Let's see, how tall is she? This mini that I just made is, this one's 15 inches tall, but I have a taller one. Oh yeah, here she is. This one is 17 inches tall, and I didn't even need to do anything with her in terms of slicing her. She fit perfectly. I'm looking for my bone folder. I don't see it, so I'll use my fingernail. Okay, and now I'm going to use my ATG gun. If you don't have one of these and you like to do cards, boy, oh boy, you better get you one. They're fabulous. I love mine. I couldn't live without it. I just really use it all the time. I do have a link for it down below, and if you use my link, that'd be fabulous, because I get a tiny little bit of a commission, and it helps me to be able to keep this PattyAnnesPlace going for all of us. So I put that right on there like that. And then this piece will go on top of that. I could pop dot it up if I want. Should I pop dot it? I will. Where are my pop dots? Okay, let me think about this for just a sec. Do I want to pop dot this up? I feel it's strong enough paper. Or should I just put it down? I might as well just put it down. This is just another sample, because I'm just learning this technique, but I thought I'd share it with you guys because it's so much fun. And truly, I bet all you have to do is go to the dollar store and get a watercolor set. And I'm using watercolor paper here, and that's what I printed on. I know I was going to tell you how I did that in just a minute after I get this done. All right, that is so cute, you guys. I love it. And I could put a sentiment on here anywhere. That is super duper cute. I love it. Okay, let's go up to my computer now, and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, here we are over at my desktop now, and you can see the image that I used for my first ones. This is the dog I'm going to use for this current card that I'm making. Just one dog, so we'll see how he'll work. I'm going to copy him and paste him into another page. And I'm going to change the page setup over there so it looks more like what it will look like when you're doing your automatic cameo. It will look more like that. So I'm going to paste him in here now. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a piece of paper that's going to be the size that I need for my dog, or for my card. So you must know that the outer size of my card is 4.25 by 5.5. So the next border in, or the black piece in my case here, is 4.0 times 5.25 inches. So the piece that I need right now for this dog is going to be 3.75 inches by 5 inches. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over and get a box or the square over on the left-hand side, draw one out, and I'm going to change its dimensions to 3.75 inches by 5 inches. Okay, and once that's done, I'm going to drag my dog over here and look just to see how much too big he is. When I bring him over, he goes behind, so I'm going to right-click on him and say bring to the front. And you can see he's way too big for my card. So I'm going to size him way down by just taking one of the squares in the corners and pushing it inward. Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and trace him. So I've gone over to the trace panel on the right-hand side, and I clicked on Select Trace Area. It traced very nicely, but I'm going to up the threshold just a little bit to make the traced image a little bit darker. I'm going to trace that, and drag away the new piece, and I can delete the original piece. Now, if you'll notice on the new piece, there's a little extra piece here that I do not want in my image. So I could double click on the dog, and that brings up the nodes or the little points. And when I click on one of those, it turns into a little square, which means I can edit it. So when I click on it and it turns into a little white square, I can just hit delete on my keyboard. Notice down here there's another one. Click on it till it turns into a white square, and then delete on my keyboard. Okay, now I notice there's a lot of nodes in him, so I just went over here and said simplify, just to get rid of some of them. And then the next thing that I did was I just grabbed all of him and came up here to the upper left-hand corner and changed the color to black. And I also changed the line color to black instead of red, so it would look a little bit better. Here we go. And now what I need to do is drag him off here and make him a lot smaller. So I'm going to push him down by using one of those little squares in the corner. And then I'm just going to duplicate him a bunch of times. And the way I like to duplicate is just by holding down the Alt key and then dragging my mouse away, and that duplicates it. So I can just keep duplicating them as long as I hold down my Alt key and drag my mouse. So I've got a bunch of them here. So what I'm going to do now is play around with them till I can get them how I like them. And once I get them how I like them, I'll join you back here. And see, I flipped some of them horizontally. I didn't flip anybody vertically because I didn't really want anybody upside down. But I played with these for a while till I got a way that I liked it. So I was satisfied with that. So the next thing that I did was I moved the blue box up from behind them. Then I grabbed all of them and said right click and group. Then I brought the blue box back behind them and I highlighted everything. And once I had the dogs and the box selected, I came over to the modify panel and I said crop. Okay, that got rid of everything I didn't want. So I'm going to come up here to the color swatch and change that back to black. And I'm going to group all these little dog parts together by drawing a box around them all. Right click and group. Going to drag them off to the side. And there's a bunch of little pieces that you can't really see until I do that. And you can see all the little pieces left behind, so I'm going to delete those. And usually I like to try twice to make sure there aren't extra pieces hidden. Okay, once that's ready, my piece is ready to be printed. So the next thing that I'll do is I'll just go to put it up here in the corner. And I'm forgetting to do something you'll notice in a minute. I'm going to come up here to File and Print. And I have my new printer set up so that it will show me a preview. So it's going to do that in just a moment. File, I'll say Print, and then Print, and it's going to show me a preview of what I'm doing. And notice here I have that size selected, 5 by 7 inch paper, because that's what I'm going to be using. And I'll say OK. Now I'm not sure if this is correct or not, so it kind of made me nervous because this is my new printer. So I decided, uh-oh, I forgot to change my dimension on my silhouette. So I decided not to print yet. I said no. I went back to this, and what I did was I changed my media size. And I don't know that this really matters, but I did do it. So I changed my media size, and I'll check this out afterwards. Changed my media size to 5 by 7. And actually that just is very helpful because then I can kind of center my piece in there. So I have a nice border with which to work on all the sides. So now I came up here to Print, File, and Print. And I just went and printed it on my printer, and it's printing over there as I speak, as soon as I hit print.